Hey everybody, this is Joe. Thank you for watching my Giga Texas construction update video.
Hey everybody, it's Joe. I'm back out here at Giga Texas, and today we have some pretty interesting news that I want to go over quickly in the intro before we get into the video. Now, because I'm going to be going to Aalo Atomics later today, and because of this news, my video is going to be a little bit different than normal, at least to some of the stuff that you are able to see. Now, the big news, of course, today is that Tesla has released a lot of renders and information about a brand new facility that's being put in. Actually, it's not brand new. We've known about it for a while, but we actually get some of the details now. So in the video, I'm going to fly along the east side, the south side, and the far south side and show you where all of this is going to take place. Now, as you can tell here, this is the Giga Texas Riverfront Eco Park Vision Plan, and it has a lot of details, and I'll put the link to this at the bottom of the screen. It'll be in the video description as well if you want to get more. But here are a few of the highlights. First of all, we're going to see a ecological kind of a zone or paradise area open to the public, extending all the way from the southwest side along the Colorado River, under the bridge, and then over onto the east side, in very much the same areas that I've been showing you over the last 12 months. Now, some of the details that come out about this is that we're going to see a variety of different facilities and open to the public areas along this entire location. Some of them are the Ecological Circle, which is up by that almost an island on the far east side, kind of surrounded on three edges by that Colorado River. This is also near where the cathode plant is located. And then farther to the southeast, we're going to see a sports circle, and that's going to be built near where that horse farm is located that I've been showing you on that southeast side. And this is a part of land that has been purchased within the last few years by Elon, or at least his subsidiaries, and it looks like at least portions of this may be related to Giga Texas. In addition to that, we're going to see a Tesla Expo on the south side near where the fork in the road is located. And we're also going to see an outdoor workplace over on the kind of the west side, and then a community circle on that far west side of the site. And with these images here, gives you a great view of what all this looks like, with some more of the renderings showing you what some of this area is going to be like, with wildlife, vegetation, and of course open to the public. Now, as far as the details are concerned, it's going to be probably another couple of years before all this is completed, but that work is already in progress. And we know about that ecological uplift on that south side, on the west support area that we talked about a year and a half ago. The rest of the news that I want to show you today has to do with some breaking news that I'm going to be able to show you during the video. But here are a few images and a couple of video clips. What this is the new Model Ys, and also I saw a Cybertruck are now driving unsupervised with no humans in them from the factory over to the Outbound lot. And they're driving to the south along the west side of General Assembly, down to where the fork in the road is, going under the south bridge, and then turning to the north and driving along that road that goes by the Cyber Tunnel, and then they queue up by the east side of the end of line. Once they're all there, then I saw that humans were then moving them into the end of line facility for the processing. So at least about 2 miles worth of driving is being done now without humans by both Model Ys and Cybertrucks here at Giga Texas. So great news to see. So without further ado, let's get into the drone. Let's fly around on my modified flight profile today and see what's going on at Giga Texas.
If you would like to support my efforts, please consider using these links, which will be in the video description. If you are interested in Tesla products, you can help yourself and support me by using my referral code. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons on my YouTube video, as this helps as well. Thank you. My drones are ready and raring to go. Let's go flying over Giga Texas. Good morning from the east side of Giga Texas. It's a beautiful day to fly and also to take a look at that ecological paradise sections of the site that we talked about in the intro. Flying over that east large lake, looking towards that top right section. That is where we will see the northernmost part of that ecological paradise that we talked about. And then as I pan the drone back towards the west and then the southwest, you can see where the Colorado River comes in, that horse training ranch to the left, and much of that field that you will see in that upper left part of the screen is going to be where that sports complex is going to be constructed. And so also a great view as I bring the drone down lower of what this site looks like right now. Of course, this is going to be open to the public. It's going to have a lot of walkways and bike paths, and possibly even the ability to go on the Colorado River. It's going to fill this entire section of this southeast and east part of Giga Texas, continuing all the way down through the south here, following that Colorado River between the power plant that you see on the upper left and Giga Texas on the right. And of course, it's going to continue all the way over to that south bridge, underneath the bridge, and then all the way up to the top center of the screen where you see all that trees around the river, and that's going to be again opened up to the public with a lot of different facilities. And that sports complex is going to be right about in this location just below the drone. So I'm just looking forward to seeing what all this is going to be like when it is completed. I think it's going to take a few more years. Their priority is, of course, getting the factory itself done, but it is nice to know and see all those renders plus that document that was released about what all this area is going to look like. So I'm going to keep flying around here. We'll cross over the bridge and we'll resume on the other side. Now that we've passed over the bridge, I'm going to turn back towards the west, fly along the Colorado River and this entire ecological uplift section of the site. Now, we know that about a year and a half ago, this work was all completed and they restored much of this location around the Colorado River. Of course, Giga Texas's property is to the north part on the right-hand side of the screen. See, there's a lot of apartments being added in on the left-hand side of the screen. I think those residents are probably going to be able to take advantage of all of this ecological open section for the public once it is completed. Of course, it continues following the Colorado River over to that bridge. That's where Highway 973 crosses over the Colorado River. And looking up to the north as I pan the drone back, you can see that contractor parking lot, that large clearing that we've been watching, that triangular section of the material staging yard with all of the transformers and more of the staging yard up to the left. Of course, the West Warehouse on Wheels, the end of line facility, and looking back at the factory. So I'm going to fly back along this section at a lower altitude and just give you this view and taking a look at those documents we talked about in the intro. Just imagine what this area is going to look like when it's completed.
reversed my routing back towards the fork in the road and this part of the roadway here because I want to show you these Model Ys that are driving by without any drivers at all. Now, of course, they're going pretty quickly, and I'll try to keep with it here, but you can clearly see that there is no driver in that vehicle, nor any of the other new vehicles that are exiting the factory. And they go underneath the south bridge like you see here, and then they work their way over to the west outbound lot. Now I'm going to reposition and fly back along the north part of this road where we're going to see some more of the Model Ys drive by. And I'll try to get down in low so you can really tell what that looks like with those Model Ys driving by themselves. This is part of a new process that Tesla is introducing. Here they come, and this is allowing the vehicles to use their built-in self-driving capability without the humans, and this will help with the overall efficiency. And it also reduces the need for people to have to drive over and then be picked up by buses, drive back. And from the last thing I heard from some of the Tesla officials I talked to in July, once all this is done, it's going to save several minutes worth of time per vehicle for production, and that's going to definitely help out with the margins and just the overall efficiency of manufacturing vehicles. And of course, no other manufacturer in the world can do this. Here are those same two arriving here at the west side, and they're going to kind of come up here. They'll stop and they'll join this large line of vehicles, and it looks to me like they kind of marshal here for a short period of time, and then they proceed further to the north along the east side of the end-of-line facility, and then they sort themselves into those driving lanes. And I'm going to kind of do a circuit around the outbound lot, give you some more views of what all this looks like today. And when I come back, I'll show you some more vehicles that are arriving onto this line, and then we will follow them up while they go into the queue line on the west side of the end-of-line facility, and show you what that looks like. But for right now, I'm going to bring the drone up to a little higher altitude, and let's fly around the outbound lot and see what that looks like today. We're back to this line. They're still waiting for a few more vehicles to arrive, and I thought this was a great opportunity to bring the drone back down and show you another arriving vehicle that is being driven autonomously, and show you how they kind of join in with this line and prepare for further movement up to that end of line facility. And with the full back here, I'm going to reposition, fly along this east side. You can tell that the vehicle's already starting to move, and I'm going to fly ahead of them and just get ahead and look back towards the south and watch as they arrive. You can tell that they are actually sorting themselves into different lanes, which is a really neat detail to be able to show you here today. And the Cybertrucks on the right-hand side also were driving
autonomously. You can tell the lineup with those Cybertrucks are a lot more precise than what we've seen with human drivers. Now, speaking of human drivers, what we're going to see here is as the Model Ys arrive in their different lanes, the human will come over and will get into one of them, and then they finish up the driving into the end-of-line facility. So I think, at least for right now, that is what the process is going to be, and I'm sure they're going to continue to refine that as time goes on. But pretty cool to be able to show you that. So let's cross over the highway and resume on the other side. This is the end of line for the actual factory where the vehicles exit, and you can tell that as soon as they come out, they just immediately start driving by themselves. Again, there are no drivers getting into these vehicles, and you can just imagine how much time it's saving. They don't have to marshal them here, wait for the drivers to get back with the shuttle bus, and then get everybody into the vehicles and drive them over. So this is really a great efficiency gain for the factory, and just great to be able to show you this for the very first time. Now, as we fly north, I wanted to stop here at this location where we see the wall panel and glass missing. They have this kind of covered walkway to make sure that it's safe for pedestrians while they're doing work on that wall section around the ground. This is the new entranceway where more of the employees are dropped off by the bus at this kind of turnstile, and then they walk into that opening for their security checks. Now I'm going to fly up towards the northwest corner of the factory. While I did this, I noticed that we are seeing some additional construction on this berm, and you can tell with the silt fence around that there is some degree of construction that is going on here. And I'll just kind of fly around and show you what this section looks like. Again, I don't know what exactly they're doing. I don't know if this is related to widening this frontage road, changing the landscaping, or adding in some more berms, but this is essentially what this side of the site looks like today. Now I'm going to bring the drone up and look back at the factory, and then we're going to get ready to cross over the highway. I want to show you what's going on with the new Welcome Center area that is still under construction on the west side of the highway. Here's a nice look kind of to the northeast along the construction site. We do see some of the rubble on the bottom left of the screen that's being piled up here with the driveway. But what we can definitely tell is that the overall grade here has been raised up significantly in the middle section. They're still working on the right-hand side of the screen, and I'm just waiting to see if this is going to become like a large square section that they're going to be building that Welcome Center on, or if it's going to extend further to the west. But as I continue to maneuver around, this is a great look to the south. You can tell where the end-of-line facility is, and the outbound lot where we were spending some time earlier in the flight. Of course, now with all of the work that is being done here in the middle section, as they continue to prepare this overall grade. I did notice over by the security checkpoint, there's a large, almost looks like trailers. I wasn't sure exactly what they were, so I'm going to work my way over to this security checkpoint, show you what it appears like, and this is what they are. Now, I've not seen something like this before. It appears like it may be vehicle transports that are kind of covered. There's another transport truck behind it, so that may be headed over to that outbound lot. This is the natural gas termination point, or the terminal, and that's part of that lateral extension for the power plant that we were watching being constructed the last several months.
I'm going to cross back over the highway and bring the drone back down here on the north end, fly over the parking lot. Just give it a look at this casting, staging, and handling lot. We do see a lot of rack mounts. Most of them are empty. There are a few that do have castings in this side of the site. And there are also these paint stands that are used for the old Model Y bumpers, still waiting for their final disposition. A nice view of some of the castings being unloaded on those racks on the right side of the screen. A lot more castings in the rack mounts here next to the melt plant. And we do see that Elite Refractory Services vehicle. They're the ones that installed the furnace just inside the building here. And we know that with those kind of blocks in the middle section there, there's additional construction and installation work going on. So I think that's why the Elite Refractory Services bus or that trailer is there as they continue to do work fitting out more of that furnace system. Here's a nice view of the north end of the factory next to the paint shop, those paint stands for the new bumpers. But I thought for today, since we've been kind of seeing different sites, I'm going to cross over Tesla Road, come up to the 2 Megapack sites, and take a look at what is going on up here. Of course, the original Megapack is at the bottom of the screen. The new one is upper right. It's about halfway completed with the number of Megapacks that they are installing. And as I continue to work our way to the north, we'll cross over the electrical switch yard. And I did notice that there's a new road that is traveling off from this site to the north, and it connects into that large field you see in the upper right of the screen. So this is most likely another connecting point for some of the earth-working vehicles, and also so they can move materials up and back to that new site. There is this large silt fence that we see at the bottom of the screen, kind of further defining this area. And next to this tree where we see a lot of the earthwork, this is where they are preparing to widen and double the size of the electrical switch yard. And here's just some additional closer in, lower altitude view of how much the grade has been raised, and of course how much more needs to be done. Those power lines and power poles that you see kind of on islands here, those will eventually be removed and relocated, but they do that kind of island methodology so that they continue with the earthwork. I did notice that there is continued preparation work here. They're putting some gravel down. That may be some roadways, or it just may be overall preparation to begin the construction to widen the electrical switch yard. As I turn back towards the new Megapack, as I mentioned before, it looks like about half of the Megapacks have been installed. The north platform still doesn't have the electrical equipment installed yet, but here is the crane getting ready to have that load splitter put onto the end of the crane so they can load up more of the Megapacks. And with the workers, this gives you a really good sense of scale. So I'm going to pull away, give you a larger view here of the Megapacks. You'll also see at the bottom of the screen here shortly another Megapack arriving on truck. So that work is just going to be continuing at a pretty brisk pace until they get all of that filled out. I'm going to turn back towards the east, and we'll take a look at this large construction zone that is going on here next to the die shop. A really good view of the perimeter grade beam and the footings that have been installed, some of the steel that has been delivered on the left hand side of the screen as well. And as I continue to maneuver past the die shop, we see the work on the ground here for the underground water management system continues. And some of those beams with the straps holding up the pipes, the trench boxes, and they're continuing to work to install those steel corrugated pipes you see at the bottom of the screen through this section to connect the new construction site all the way over to the water filtration pond, which is on the east side of the battery cathode plant. So since we were starting off looking at the locations for the ecological paradise, I thought I would bring the drone back up and give us a higher, larger view over the entire east side.
and show you where more of that will be. Now, of course, we see that construction site in the upper right, the east warehouse on wheels, excuse me, the parking lot, the main factory, and of course all of the trailers and construction items on this east side. But as I continue to fly further to the east and pan to the left, we're going to see that large lake again, the Colorado River, and this kind of almost like a peninsula with the cell phone tower. This is that area that we saw in the diagrams that will be further developed and will eventually be open to the public and part of that ecological paradise for Giga Texas. So it's really an expansive project that they have going on, and with these views, hopefully that gives you a sense of scale of what we're actually talking about. I'll return back to look at the battery cathode plant, some of the pipes that are located on the ground in the center of the screen that'll be further used to connect in the new construction site on the right with that pond on the left. And as I bring the drone back down, we'll get a closer view of the work that is going on here. The two cranes have been fully assembled but are laying on the ground, so they're not operational at the moment, but we should start seeing them in work soon, doing some vertical assembly onto this new construction site using those footings. Now, for right now, it looks like most of the footings are on the south section of it, and it's right now about half of what that whole site looks like, so that'll be something I'll be watching. I'm going to bring the drone back down, just a closer view of the cranes as we maneuver our way to the west side of the die shop and look at the rebar cages that continue to be assembled for those footings. Also, as we get in closer, it's a better view of the section that just has the footings right now. And I'll pan the drone to the right and show you how this is coming. On the south, all of them have been poured with concrete. On the north end, we're still seeing the rebar cages installed, and you can tell where the excavation work has stopped, at least for the moment. And as I continue to maneuver the drone around, this gives you a great sense of scale with the workers and the rebar cages. Also, that we are seeing some of the footings with bars in between, and that has been replicated through several different sections of the site. That could be where they're going to be doing double beams, or it could be some other reason, and we'll definitely take a look at how that is progressing. What we see here is more work on the perimeter grade beam underway with the excavation work to connect all of the various footings, and now we have forms, so we're going to start seeing the perimeter grade beam itself starting to be poured with concrete very soon. Here's some more of those steel items being delivered next to that temporary warehouse, and another rebar section of that perimeter grade beam being prepared for concrete. So that'll bring us to a close for today's video, showing you a lot of the section for the ecological paradise, of course, with the Model Ys driving themselves and all of the construction. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. I hope you have a great week. Take care.